All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. Today, read an article from Bleacher Report talking about one player from every team to possibly eye in free agency. And for the Houston Rockets, we have Mitchell Robinson. Now, I don't think he's going to be a Knick next season. Unfortunately, I don't think the Knicks are going to pay him. I think he's a payable player, but he's looking for like more than 4 years, $48 million. The way the money works, as it stands right now, Houston can't sign him. But obviously, like, there's wiggle room. You could, if you really wanted to sign Mitchell Robinson, the Houston Rockets could definitely make that happen. But as this article points out, the Houston Rockets allowed the second highest conversion rate at the rims this past season. Need more interior defense. We also had the worst defense in the entire NBA. Since his debut in 2018-2019, Robinson has had the third highest block percentage in the league among players with at least 200 games played. Christian Wood, Sengun have no shortage of offensive skill, but neither puts up any resistance on D. So, taking a look at Mitchell Robinson, last year of his rookie contract, he's 23 years old. He's 7 feet. He has a 7'3" wingspan. It actually might be 7'4". He's huge. He's absolutely huge. Now, the one thing, if the Houston Rockets were to sign this man, I need him starting. There's no way, shape, or form I want Mitchell Robinson coming off of that bench. So, most likely, you would have Sengun coming off the bench. Now, Sengun, I'm hopeful for the cat. He's super young. I mean, this kid is literally 19 years old. Turkish League MVP last season. I thought he had a very solid rookie showcase. But by no means am I, ready to give this guy the keys to the franchise. I've pointed this out several times throughout the season. It's very slow. The footwork's bad. Kind of not physically weak, but he's not a physical player on the defensive end. And Houston, having the worst defense in the entire NBA, we need physical bodies. We need dudes who are going to protect the paint. And so, I'm really hopeful for Sengun, but I don't think, just because of his offensive progress, I don't think, we should necessarily just be locked and loaded as far as Sengun being the long-term starter. So if you have the opportunity to get a guy like Mitchell Robinson, I think you should. This past season, played 72 games, started in 62 of them, played about 26 minutes per game, 8.5 rebounds, 8.5 points, 1.8 blocks, and that's pretty much it. 0.8 steals there. He's never taken a three in his career. He's pretty efficient from the field, I would say, being a career 72% shooter in the paint. So, Mitchell Robinson, Mitchell Robinson's a player I would like on the Rockets, but I'm not really trying to go out of my way to acquire this guy. We'll see, obviously, post-draft. If Houston were to draft a guy like Chet, I think Mitchell would pretty much be off the table. I think it's very unlikely I would put the percentage at probably 5%, maybe 10% to be a little generous to Houston. I'm more of a fan of just kind of drafting, maybe getting the bench a little bit deeper this next season, but I know Houston next season, they're going to be a little bit more competitive than a lot of people are thinking. We have a solid team, man. We got a solid team, but I do want to fill out the bench, and I do want to make some defensive moves. But I'm definitely interested to see how KPJ, Jalen Green, Christian Wood, Sengun, hopefully, or it will be a top 5 pick, but hopefully our number 1, 2, or 3, or 4 even. I don't really want that 5th pick in the draft, but hopefully we have a top 4 pick and we can see how he plays. So I kind of want next season to be another developmental, just kind of season where you're evaluating. And the bad news for that is, we're probably not going to secure a top 8 seed in the Western Conference, but I would say going for the play-in tournament is definitely something that will keep fans engaged. It'll keep the players engaged. I definitely don't want to have the worst record again. I definitely don't want to have the worst record in the league again. And I know even if the Houston Rockets made no adjustments in the offseason, I think even if they were to not even draft a player this season, I still think that they would at least be a play-in tournament team. I don't think that they'll be the 15th seed in the Western Conference again. So Mitchell Robinson, pretty interesting, but I'm not really trying to, break the bank. Basically, Eric Gordon, John Wall, Christian Wood, Jayshawn Tate, KPJ, they're all technically going to be off the books after next season. So, who's Houston going to bring back? I mean, you might bring Christian Wood back, you might bring Tate back, you might bring KPJ back. But basically, I would like Houston be relatively flexible as far as salary goes, as far as the money works. So Mitchell Robinson, if it happens, I definitely will be excited, and I'll definitely welcome him to the team. But he's not a player. There's very few players in free agency this upcoming season at that position. Maybe like a guy like DeAndre Ayton is a player I would 100% target if it's possible. I've made a video on him this past week. But, Mitchell Robinson, I think it's like 5 to 10% likely, and I think, honestly, that's probably stretching it a little bit. That's it for today. Drop a comment down below. Do you want to see Mitchell Robinson on the Houston Rockets next season? If not, or if so even, go ahead, drop some people down below that you want the Houston Rockets to target in free agency. Like button, sub button for daily Houston Rockets content, and I'll see you guys later.